Hello from the past. I highly predict that this probably won't be used in a video for a while. I know you guys aren't super keen on when I get a car and don't do anything with it for a while, and this is gonna be one of those cars, but I wanted to document the day getting it. This dude that's coming down, he's a fan of the channel, which is really rad. He drove down from North Carolina with this car. The only thing he requested, he's giving me a really good price on the car, is that we gotta drift it around the compound. So, gonna do a little bit of drifting with this thing, check it out. Hopefully not put it into a tree. Have that fun. Off in the shop. It's not letting me clutch kick, so I'm gonna go do that real quick.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah, it's fun. Gotta keep her woke a little bit. It only revs to 6,800 right now, so once we turn the rev limit up, that should help. Fancy seeing you here. Skate decks, limited edition, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Along with new banner restock. Set a reminder, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No restocks. Even though, like I said before, I was 99% sure that it wasn't an injector issue, still got a brand new set of 1500cc injectors from Dishworks. I'm gonna try popping these in, start it up, and see if that makes any difference. This can be a pain. Let's see how much it cooperates. All right, I said that I wasn't going to include this car in this video, but I decided I'm going to. I've been trying to operate a little bit more on like the secretive, sneaky side with the whole Drift HQ rental thing, and I think in this video I'm gonna probably go in a little bit more detail regarding the rental side and my secret S-chassis plan that I've been working on in the back end. This car is gonna be part of one of those plans. I don't know exactly which yet, but I'll kind of talk you guys through the process. First, I wanna show off the car. We'll talk about the pros and the cons. This is a true JDM Silvia. Has a nice, decent interior, missing the rear interior. This car was definitely a drift car in Japan. I'll tell you the bad stuff about it first. Doesn't have a rear interior. It looked like it had a little munch in back, maybe hit a wall or something. Other than that, there's very little rust on the car. Paint is, I'd say like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. There's no clear coat failure or anything, just a little orange peely. Not perfect, but good for a drift car. So the good things that came with this car, it was a fantastic deal. Matt really hooked it up. It was one of those things where like, I told him I wasn't in the market for a car that's nice, and he was able to get his price range down to what I was in the range for. And I'm unbelievably thankful because it's gonna make us having this nice of a car possible. Drift HQ, this is technically a Drift HQ car. This isn't my car, so don't be mad at me for buying another car. I still don't own an S14 to this day. But the good is obviously these cars came with SRs, so it's a turbo SR. The original engine that came in this car actually had low compression in one cylinder, so we got it fully built. It's got like shelf pistons, like CPs, Manley rods, bearings, 272 Brian Crower cams. Other than that, it's got like a valve job. It's got a very, very fresh SR. There's 0 leaks. You can tell that TLC was taken with it. GTX Gen 2 2871, a little bit big for my preference, especially on pump gas. It's one of the things we're gonna address, but it's a good turbo. Wiring Specialties harness. It's on a Haltech standalone. Car has a lot of good parts. It's got a Nismo copper mix clutch, like a lot of that. This car, if this was the Drift HQ S14, I would have just left the drivetrain in And this, all it really needs, smaller cams, E85, and then VTC is disengaged for whatever reason. So I gotta figure that out because that'll bring up the mid-range. It's tuned to only go to like 6,800 right now. And like that, this thing's got valve springs and retainers. It should be revving at 8 grand. Maybe it doesn't have enough fuel pump. It's only got a Wobble Q55, so that might be capped out at the power range that it is right now. Either way, we'll chuck a DW400 in it, some better injectors, put some 85 safe line on it. This thing should pick up a bunch of mid-range. Clutch fin's cool, but it's not really gonna do the job for what I need. I've had great luck with the Mishimoto race fans on my other car. That's what I'm doing on the S14. That's what I'll probably end up doing with this. It's a good car. It's straight. I almost feel guilty. It's almost a little bit too nice for a drift car. So the plans for it, what I will tell you right now. Oh, it also came with a dual caliper setup, which was sick. It's got a hydro, it's like a GK kit. That's neat. Didn't know that. It feels like the angle's decent, even though it's only just like a rack spacer. So the plan is that this car will either become a Drift HQ rental car. We have quite a few drivers that come in from other countries that are looking for a right-hand drive car to rent. It needs very little to become a very solid drift car. Already just driving around here, if the power range was a little bit better, it'd be very solid. So there's a possibility it'll either be that, or another thing that I really want to do, and is one of my goals, is to create 3 seemingly very similar, I don't want to say identical, but like 3 team SR Drift HQ cars. So me and the boys can go drive a team event if there's ever like a team tandem comp or something, with 3 simple like street style cars, which my S15 will be, this could be, or possibly another one. So this car will either end up becoming a Drift HQ rental car, or will be one of the 3 SRS chassis that I have my heart set out on. So I'm gonna kind of fill you guys in a little bit more on the whole like rental business side of things, but we're gonna walk over to the other warehouse and I'll talk about the first rental car project and some of the other stuff that's going on with the rental stuff. All right, so I found 2 other little minor things when I was going through it. One, there's they're like noise things, these little things. I don't know what they're called, but they have to do with like filtering the crank signal. And one was here and was like loose and kind of jostling around. It's very possible that could have been the issue all along. So I put that in a different spot where it has a little bit better ground, since this is like plastic to magnesium, which isn't a ground at all. Possible that that has something to do with it. I don't know how that would have happened at the track because it wasn't there at the track, so I guess that doesn't really make sense. But new injectors are in it. And then also brand new cam sensor. I already took the one from the other car, that didn't do the trick. Maybe it just needs a new OEM one. I don't really know. So I'm gonna fire up and see, hopefully there's some sort of change. Watch my air fuel gauge. Make sure it's happy. Air fuel looks fine. Feels cleaner. Let's see if it revs. It sounded like it might have started breaking up. Need a better pull. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. It's breaking up, but it doesn't sound like it did before. That's what's weird.
It kind of sounded the same to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's letting me rev higher than it used to. Something weird. Air fuel's fine, that's what's getting me. It seems better, but it's still not fixed. It's been a minute since you guys have been in this building. It may not look that much different, but in person, the guys got this building super, super dialed to where now it's like squeaky clean floors, no more cobwebs or dust or anything. So hopefully the cars will stay clean in here. This is gonna be kind of like the clean home for the clean cars. So when they're washed and detailed, they chill here, then they get used and abused. Then once they're clean, they come back. Look at old girl. So Drift HQ rental stuff, Drift HQ YouTube channel. One of the first projects is chilling in here. It is disgustingly hot in here. We don't have the AC working on this side of the building right now, so pardon me if I'm gonna talk kind of quick, but this is gonna be one of the first projects on the Drift HQ YouTube channel. Not exactly the most common kind of project that you guys will probably get into, because the first thing that we have to do is put an engine in it. So I ordered a new LS, well not a new, but like a very low mileage LS3 from Lee C Parts, the same place I got my LS for my mom's car. And one of the first video series they want on the Drift HQ channel is the process of pulling and swapping a Corvette, because it's not like pulling any engine in any other car. So we're gonna have some really detailed videos on basically dropping the transmission and the engine that will live on that channel, and replacing it with a good one, because this car was purchased for a very low price. I think it's like 5 or 6 grand, which in today's market is like nothing, but it's got a blown engine. So engine's gonna go by, new engine's gonna go in, and the idea is for this to be a Corvette rental drift car. These things, they're good for comps, and usually competitive drift cars that can win like a Pro-Am or something like that will go for a bit more than like a lesser priced car. So anyway, this thing's gonna be cool. We'll have all the tutorials and DIYs of like angle kit stuff, coilovers, handbrake, all that stuff that kind of goes along with a lot of the stuff that we sell. But the first thing, since that thing needs an engine, is gonna be an engine. We ordered it today, so it's on its way and should hopefully be here by the end of the week. So kind of the premise, we don't have the site or anything set up, even though the cars are available to rent. So if you guys want to message Drift HQ and talk about it, the idea is to be able to have a service where we can drop the car off at your track, whether it be clutch kickers, OSW, somewhere in the vicinity. We're actually preparing a Drift Week car for a client overseas that's gonna be flying in, kind of stuff like that. And then we have all these drift cars at our disposal that we can use for development, for parts, for content, for tutorials. And I even want to get to the point where once we kind of have the rental thing running and established and working well, that we can maybe even offer like a driver instructor. So if you aren't super competent with drifting or you want to learn, you can rent a car and you can get instruction. So it's pretty cool. The guys at Drift HQ have actually been doing it for a while. It's not a new thing for them. It's a new thing for me though, and I'm excited to have the excuse to get more cars and do more little projects that actually can earn revenue and cover the costs of themselves. So as of right now, we have the G35 and the Genesis, which are both kind of like more basic entry-level cars. And then the Corvette and potentially this car will be kind of the more higher tier, more pricey rental cars. All right, so this is something completely separate from that first car in the video. Kev is a man, bro, drove to Atlanta on a whim, like 24-hour notice to go pick this thing up. Facebook Marketplace, sick find. I haven't seen the car yet. Is it good?
It's pretty nice. I like it. If you don't like it, I'll take it.
Okay. he haggled him down, got me a sick deal. We're gonna go check it out. Woo! Bro, it is way nicer than I thought.
I feel like I'm seeing double.
I'm excited about this one. This one's for me.
Another one.
Red Car Gang.
That's right. Oh, this one's a drift car for sure, dude. Another one. Looks good.
You a happy boy? You happy?
Man, Glenn said this is the last one. No more. But look what it comes with.
Like the Brudnick.
It's a SR.
That does look like some Rudnick.
Right? I cannot wait to compression test it.
Yeah.
Cookie, whatever the f you want to call it. Everyone gets mad, and some people say it right, some people say it wrong. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to call it a cookie in this video. I have wanted a cookie for a long time, but the prices of them are wild. When Jimmy got that green one that he found in Florida, even that I was still like mind blown at how much they're going for. This car popped up on Facebook Marketplace. It's kind of like a half-finished project. It came with some good parts, and the car seemed decently clean. So hit the guy up, able to negotiate down to a really good deal. I'll even say it in this video. $8,500 for this thing. You're about to see what it comes with. There's some questionable stuff about it. It was just too good of a deal to pass up. And I think it's kind of like the S14, but maybe a little bit less. It's gonna be a fun little project to have on the side if I ever want to tinker. We're creating economies of scale with all these S14s and S15s since they all share like a lot of the same parts and everything. So it's gonna be really easy to just kind of like throw shit on these cars real quick if we ever gotta do anything with it. It's so cool. We need to unload the trailer in the AC of the shop.
I know.
I love the shop layout. The fact that we can do this and unload a car in the AC. So this is a US car. Interestingly enough, I didn't know they only made 6,000 cookies. Let's look in the back. Some parts, some lines, some fans. I actually need to set a Nismo engine mount. Yeah, that's our water pump. Score. Dude, ECU? ROM tune? Jim Wolf. Look at that. Already tuned for Z32 math. How cool is it unloading in the shop?
Driving, huh?
How sick is that?
Another one, huh?
Could you do the DJ Khaled meme? Another one.
Yeah.
Another one. And another one.
Stop. That's copyright.
And another one.
Stop saying it. It's
Oh,
copyright.
really?
Is it-
Oh, we get hit on YouTube?
But Johan's voice is so close
I got
to
the
DJ
beer, bro.
Khaled
Give me a hat.
They copyright us. You get a cease and desist.
And another one.
She's not perfect, but she's fine.
I ain't judging, but I'm a hard critic. So.
No, you are. I like that. There's air horns in here.
I know you like that.
What?
Watch it be a train horn.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
What was that?
That's literally what it is.
It's amazing.
How do I make it work, Johan?
That's
Power and
amazing.
ground and or like, where's the pump? Or maybe it's electric, but they look loud.
Yeah, they do.
You want to sit in the middle?
That was my biggest concern. What's the line from Fast and Furious? Or you know what I'm talking about?
The car that's like 20 with bullet premium.
Oh, that too.
Right before
I
it
was
was.
I was thinking the one where it's like, I wanted a 10-second car, not a 10-minute car.
Yeah, you
Sure.
can push it over the finish line.
So, one of the things I was excited about on this car is that it comes with. Oh, so it's maybe this is their like OEM Plus series.
Yeah.
So it's not the Pro series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like
okay.
a first version.
Either way, better than old crusty. I think if it works, do you know if the S14 and S15 harness should be the same?
I don't know.
Because I kind of want to steal it for the
Yeah, the battery
S15.
tray's not rusted. That's the first.
I mean, it's got a little rust, but
Oh, this is good.
yeah, that's what I was saying. You could tell because it's black. But the frame rails are straight. Look what I did. I already said in the video.
Surprise!
You said
It
this in the
feels like
last one.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Except every car is just a different color, and it keeps happening and happening over and over.
Do you like my cookie? Do you like my cookie? Yeah, it's got AC lines. God. Love that. I need that. Mike goes, what? I've never seen this. Yeah, I need to put in the 34.
Yeah.
These are always missing. Just plugs up the hole and makes it look nice.
Yeah.
We got another cross member.
Well, it's not right hand. Oh, yeah.
Virgin.
Man, they keep stealing all my freaking front subframes. I just gotta keep crashing.
15. What you know about cooking or thinking?
Say kooky. Say it. This is what I was talking about. People argue kooky versus koki. I think koki's correct, but
Cookie. Let
that's
the
why we
internet
just say
tell
cookie.
us.
Yeah, tell us. I want to call it the
Some
cookie.
Japanese person that's Japanese and not understands senki and or
from Japan, right?
Sam, that's gonna like
Yeah,
send a
Sam.
video, and he's gonna be like, it's koki.
yeah. Salmon could fix it.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Sam.
What about a chassis with a shoki? Is it Chucky or shoki?
Cookie. It's a cookie.
S13.
It's a bright red, flaming hot cookie. That's a bummer. Oh, I saw the toe arms. They're bent up like this.
Really?
Yeah. What's sort of the left? I thought this car was resprayed because red paint normally gets so screwed and so sun faded, especially down south. But it appears as if it's all original paint. I don't see any paint lines anywhere. Like I said, I think the front was in an accident since it had that core change. It's missing some of the brackets to the front bumper, and then the hood has some pretty gnarly like paint chips. But apart from that, it's like a fairly clean version of the car. So, again, I don't know exactly what the plans are going to be for this thing, but it was just one of those things that I know I want to own one at some point, and it was too good of a deal to pass up. I have deja vu looking at another S14 up
It's
on the
almost
list.
like we just did this yesterday.
I know. Well, the good news is it has both frame rails still. That's a plus.
That's a plus.
What do we think? Subframe's a little less rusty.
Yeah.
than the other car. It's got, yeah, I mean the pinch welds are real straight.
Yeah. It's clean. Very
Yeah.
clean.
It's almost cleaner. I think it's cleaner than the Sylvia.
Yeah.
It's like treasure hunts. I love it. I don't think I've said this in the video, but I should also put this out there. Kind of another piece of logic with this. Like I said, the other car has a potential to earn revenue. I think it's going to be a good asset for Drift HQ, and it was a good deal. But also right now, with how the stock market is, how prices and everything are going up, if you can score cars like this at a good deal, it's almost better than having money in the bank, because these are just like appreciating assets rather than money that's not really earning any interest right now because the stock markets aren't doing so hot. So I'm not even doing it to hype it up like I'm gonna be doing some build on these cars real quick. It's really hard to hide cars and you guys always spot them. You always find out somehow. Someone posts on Facebook or something. So I decided I was just gonna post about these, even though originally they were just gonna get hidden and stashed away. Like your boy Jimmy, he's good at hiding cars. I'm gonna put him on the spot because he's part of the reason that's convinced me to do this. The boy's got cars stashed in places you don't even know. He's got some really cool stuff that no one knows about. And he inspired me to join. Yeah, I just wish I had all these cars up there so I could have fun with him. We could just wrench on rocker arms all day together. Damn, yeah, this thing's good.
Yeah.
So the only thing left to evaluate so already alone, I would feel fine spending $8,500 on this as a roller with no engine because that's essentially what it would be if it came with a KA. But if this SR has good compression, then it's a fantastic deal. I got a video of a compression test, but it looked like it was done forever ago and I don't really trust it. Looking at this, not really knowing much about it, you can see it's got a metal head gasket. I was told it has Z32 pistons. That's kind of cool because the piston is more so of the weak point on an SR. The thing that makes me nervous about that, instead of buying new pistons, did they cheap out on bearings? Did they cheap out on machine work? I don't really know what's done to it. Kevin, you said you had the valve cover off. Did it look like it had cams or springs or any headwork or no?
No, it looked pretty stock.
So no VTC on this one. Looks like the whole engine's been painted. I told you guys it looks like a head gasket. It's got some sort of Freddy intake manifold. Like I said, it's got Z32 pistons, and what I don't like is they're 87 mil. I don't like to even go more than half. I don't even like going half over, especially on aluminum block, so that makes me a little bit nervous. Definitely wouldn't push this thing super hard, but if the compression sucks, SR blocks are actually pretty expensive right now, so it could be one of those things where I just use it as like a core to sleeve. We'll put some oil in this thing, see if we can get a starter rigged up to it, see what the compression is. See, remember what I was saying about creating economies of scale with these builds? We need an SR starter to test the compression. Let me take you to my dismantled S14 we have on these shelves right here. Starter, here we go. Look at that.
Perfect.
Just to play it safe, it looked like there was a little bit of debris under the valve cover, so I'm gonna pull it off. This looks like almost like bearing material. I kind of want to get a magnet to see what of this is actually metal in there because I don't want to do any damage by turning it over. Yeah, dude. I think there's, look at that. Looks like there's metal in the head. You see all that debris?
On top of the spring.
It's either silicone or metal. So this thing might just be a core like I expected. You know, despite finding metal on the head, which means it's essentially trash and is going to all need to be taken apart, I did notice it's got the dual guide conversion on the rocker arms, which is something that I was planning to do on the other SRs, so I can walk you through that and then I can use this one as an example. I don't know if this engine smoked or if it just got debris. Maybe it was sitting in his garage without a valve cover and stuff got in there, but there's so much in here that the head needs to come off and be properly cleaned. I don't feel comfortable starting it up. It's a bummer, but better safe than sorry. So, like I've said, I don't really like revealing cars if I know I'm not gonna work on them in a while, but you guys are really good detectives and you're gonna find out one way or another because I'm sure I'll slip up and they'll be in the background. So, the rough timeline or plan, this car right here, like I said, is like pretty much ready to go. I think the plan is I'm gonna end up doing the same cams that I do in the S15 and a couple little minor things with this so that this car and the S15 will likely get tuned at the same time, hopefully in less than a month. Gotta take our time and then we're gonna be going to clutch kickers and then we have a couple rounds of FD coming up, so it's gonna kind of make it a little bit more difficult to do it fast. And then this thing, I don't really know a timeline. It's kind of one of those things that might sit for a while. I might just get impulsive and strip the bay down and go get some stuff powder coated, zinc coated, have Ray paint it so it's at least one step closer. But like I said, it was one of those things that was a really good deal, turned out to be a decent deal with this thing that's smoked. I don't really think we're gonna have time to completely disassemble and reassemble it ourselves, so I'm gonna reach out to a couple of my friends, see if anyone's down to kind of do a little side project. I'm hoping it'll be okay and it'll be a solid engine, but with the amount of metal that I've seen in the head, I have to have this thing completely stripped and cleaned. Cranking it over once with all that metal in the head, definitely would be toast. So, not worth it. But anyway, let me know if there's anything specific you want to see on these cars. Like I could technically film a video like polishing this car a little bit, cleaning up the interior and doing kind of like one of those like restorations, but at the same point, it seems kind of misleading if I'm not planning to work on the car for a while. So rather be transparent about it. But these two things popped up. I'd actually been talking to Matt for months about this car. He finally got to a really good price that I couldn't say no to. And man, if I had AC in that car, I'd probably be daily. It's so nice. I love it. But you guys have been wanting me to get an S14 for a while. I haven't really wanted one because as drift cars, they don't really do much for me. I always see S14s, like an LS swap S14 is like the go-to American drift car. And it's just never really done that much for me. So don't really plan on it being a huge new big drift car for me. But like I said, this could be a rental, and then this, if anything, will probably be more like a street car. But we'll see. Hope you guys like my little finds that I found, and we'll see you soon.
When you said